Hey guys, Brent Sibley, Sibley Dolman Accident Injury Attorneys, and today I'm going to be going over the question of when you're a client in a personal injury case and your case is about to settle, how much of the settlement amount should you be expecting in your pocket? So this is the idea of the gross settlement amount versus the net settlement amount. And the gross amount is how much the full case settles for, the lawyer settles and negotiates. But really what matters for the client is the net settlement amount. How much are they going to net in their pocket? And interesting because I have a client named Eduardo. He's going to watch this. He watches all my stuff. He's a marketing guy, but he used to work at a law firm. And he said to me, because we just settled his case, and he said, so should I be expecting a third? Because that's how it works, right? And I said, no, what do you mean a third? The attorney's fee is 1/3, which leaves 2/3 for you, and I negotiate your medical bills, and then you get the rest. And he said, no, well, at the law firm that I used to work at, we just told all the clients that they're going to expect 1/3. So interestingly enough, that's how they did it at their law firm, and I could see why, because it kind of is on the lower end. So it's an easy formula. Just tell the client they're going to get 1/3. And, blah, blah, blah. It's an easy message to send. But that's obviously not the rule, and that's not how things work. So how does it work? This is the way it works. We're just going to use $100,000 as the settlement amount in a case. So in a settlement of $100,000, the attorney's fee is either going to be 1/3 if it settles before a lawsuit, or 40%. We'll use a lawsuit without a lawsuit. So we'll use the attorney's fees will be $33,000, which leaves $66,000 or $67,000 for the client. If I can negotiate your medical bills to a certain level, let's say your medical bills were $50,000, but I was able to negotiate your medical bills down from $50,000 down to $16,000, which is not necessarily always going to be the way it works, but that's about 32 cents on the dollar, which is somewhat reasonable. Some doctors I need to pay more and some doctors I need to pay less. But usually we negotiate the bills somewhere between 30 to 50 cents on the dollar. So in this situation, the $100,000 was the gross settlement amount. 33 for attorney's fees leaves you 66. I negotiate your medical bills down to 16,000, from 50 down to 16, you're left with 50. So in that situation, my client would be netting $50,000 out of the $100,000 that their case settled for. Now, every case is different. You have to ask your lawyer, hey, what are my bills? Let me see the closing statement. If you're being represented by a real reputable attorney, you're going to get a full closing statement. It's going to show you every single thing. Here's the settlement, and here's how there's $100,000 in your trust account. Next line item, attorney's fees minus 33, and now it shows you the balance, 66,000. Now hospital bill was 5,000. Okay, now my balance in my trust account is 61,000. This orthopedic doctor, his bill was 1,000. Now my balance is 60,000. These three doctors, each 3,000 each, 51,000. The ambulance, 1,000. Boom, down to 50. No further medical bills. 100,000 is what remains. 100,000 is what goes into the client's pocket. So that is basically how it works. When I was younger, I always made a rule that I wanted to try and give my clients 50% of their settlement. It doesn't always work that way. Now I've done a lot more cases, a lot more complicated cases, and my goal is to just maximize it. I don't necessarily say 50% or a third. The range is probably somewhere between 1/3 and 50. On some cases, above 50 is just if you just knock it out of the park and you get a really good settlement. You can go above 50. Some cases definitely down below a third is what happens. That's just the way it is, and usually that's because there's not enough insurance from the person who caused your crash. So anyway, I hope this helps people out there understand what you can net in your pocket when you do a personal injury case. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. Brent Sibley, Sibley Dolman, Accident and Injury Attorneys, here for you guys. Have a great day. Drive safely. It's raining outside.